In a world where information seems to travel at the speed of light and traffic at a snail's pace, where the agenda of those at the helm doesn't always reflect the pressures on the streets, where the rubber hits the road, where there's queue of issues needing to be interrogated in the name of speaking truth to power.
Welcome to a place at the table,
where we set the agenda,
table the issues that matter to you,
and invite you to take a seat at the table.
We're back at the table as we count down to 2025. Do we come bearing glad tidings? Oh, well, I'm speaking on Lagos, the soul of Nigeria. How's that for a gift?
I don't know about that, but I'm certainly all for being the voices for the justice we seek, particularly as regards ending violence against women and girls.
I'm on the same page, Zuma. I'll be highlighting exceptional young people that have made impact this year. You could say I come with inspiration.
Bright, you're set to brighten up my day. I bring motivation to continue to hold our leaders accountable. Today, I'm asking the National Assembly, whatever happened to e-voting?
That's right, Yinka. Keep pressing on those necks. In short, leave your foot there. Now for some of that good news Funke spoke about. In fact, my advocacy is titled Good Time.
The spirit, Kate. Here at the table, we'll bring you the good, the provocative, and the inspiring. I know you can't wait to begin unwrapping. Well, neither can I. Lagos, the soul of Nigeria. Lagos has been described as a country within a country. Lagos is the largest metropolitan area in Africa with a population of 23.5 million people. It is said to be 2.5 times bigger than London. Daily, Nigerians from all walks of life and ethnicity troop into Lagos. State records say that 6,000 people enter Lagos daily from across Nigeria and Africa. Former governor of the state, Akinwumi Ambode, was quoted by the cable to have said that 86 immigrants enter Lagos every minute of the day, the highest in any city in the world. That was in 2016. Many Nigerians claim Lagos as theirs. It was a source of contention in politics, acutely so in the last general elections. Lagos is the reason Nigerians are asking for citizens to claim wherever they were born as their state of origin. And what's not to claim about Lagos anyway? Here are 5 reasons Lagos will continue to be a destination of choice, a meta city, and the prototype of the Nigeria of our dreams. In November 2024, Lagos announced that it is establishing 4 gas-fired power hubs, each requiring a minimum of 100 megawatts capacity. The state's electricity requirement surpasses 6 gigawatts. The current supply from the national grid deliver under 2 gigawatts at peak times. Lagos is the only state with an internal rail network, a ferry service, and of course the hub for air travel in Nigeria. It has a comprehensive transportation policy. Lagos ports are the busiest in Nigeria. The Lagos Port Complex and Tinkan Island Port Complex bring in billions of naira daily. The deep sea port in Lekki is an addition. In December 2024, 36 newly completed roads, 5 bridges, and a pedestrian bridge were commissioned across the state. And tourism, a city busting at the seams with life, luxury, and squalor. Lagos is the city many Nigerians want to be seen as a no man's land, a place every Nigerian can claim as their own. Because Lagos works. It is cosmopolitan.
8. When I moved, first time I was moving into Lagos, and I knew it felt like a lot for me. I couldn't do more than a week at a stretch. I was working in Lagos then. So every weekend, Friday evening, I'm out. Monday morning, yes, because I just couldn't deal with it. It was too much. But now look at me now. I can do 6 weeks at a stretch. Before going, it has a way of going on you. As much as there's a lot of dysfunction in Lagos, the dysfunction on micro levels. There are certain things you shouldn't even have to deal with, but you have to deal with it. Because it's also understandable because it is the most populated city in Nigeria. It is the largest economy in Nigeria. And it is the only state where you can literally just show up, show workings, and you will make something out of yourself. But then again, I still believe no one should be doing Lagos full-time. Despite the hard you should always take a break to have some sanity.
Lagos is a full-time job.
It's not full-time. It shouldn't be a full-time job. It shouldn't be a full-time job.
Right, you want to jump into this?
I think for me, it's a toxic relationship.
That's
What
it.
do you mean?
It's like that boyfriend that give you black eye every single day.
And you keep going back.
You keep going back
Because it's sweet.
because it's got this vibe still. You know, there's still this exactly. You get it. Yeah. The boyfriend is showing what kids, but still punching your eye. You know. But I feel like there's so much that can be done here. Like the opportunities here is massive. Like we were discussing earlier. If other states are able to replicate some of these things that are happening in Lagos, maybe less people will be here. I believe that, when it comes to the eastern part of Nigeria, a lot of the governors and the business people are now saying, you know what, we need to go back home and we need to invest. That would create, more opportunities within this state and less people will be coming to Lagos.
Right.
But still, man, there's no other state that has the beaches,
The vibe.
the club, the parties,
The restaurant.
the parties, the parties, like a Lagos party still, but at the same time, it's wounding you.
Like any city that is bursting in the seams. I was born in Lagos. Let me just put this out there. I was born in Surulere. I'm a Surulere mainland girl. I love Lagos. I love the hustle and bustle of Lagos. And Lagos has changed. Remember, you were talking about how would Lagos look in the next
20 years. Yeah.
And I'm like, it's going to change.
Yeah.
It's been changing. But with those changes, we need to expand to accommodate the changes because it's inevitable. Definitely need more road networks. Definitely more roads.
A lot more.
Because it's crowded.
I'm actually impressed with Lagos. They're always constructing roads.
More roads.
Better infrastructural plan.
Onboarding
What's going on, Fuke? Like, the way you're just hyping Lagos today. Sorry.
Onboarding the ports because, I went to Apapa 2 weeks ago on a film set and it's a no-go area. The tankers and the trucks were all over the place. And I remember Apapa from 15, 20 years ago, it was a really, really nice place for you to live. But now, it was like Jerry Keja, but now it's, you can't go, the bridge is rough and everything. And the squalor can do better. But kudos to Lagos State. They've done really well. The domestic and sexual violence response team is amazing. That for me is what hurts my heart all the time. Lagos is doing its best. And
It is.
I can't live anywhere else but Lagos.
Thank you.
So it's a full-time.
No, it's for me. No, to be honest, Abuja, even are very calm. See, Lagos, you must have, steez and composure to be able to. See. You can drive in Lagos, drive anywhere in the world. Lagos it prepares you actually for the rest of the world. Lagos is vibrant, it's full of energy, and yes, it can do much better, but I'm all for a
And
full-time job
creatives
in
like
Lagos.
you. This is the hub of the creatives
That's
in
it.
Nigeria.
But they've tried to move it to other places, but Lagos, the spirit is very strong.
I love the parts where you said Lagos is the soul of Nigeria, and I just love the description of that because what it represents is it's more than just a city.
Yeah.
There's vibe.
It's a
melting pot.
There's vibe still. There's vibe.
And I can't remember the name of this artist that talked about, when he gets out of Nigeria, he's always eager to get back. And that's the same thing I feel.
Me too.
Forget the dysfunction. Dysfunction is a lot in this state.
Right,
makes us.
It's not be that way anyway.
But you step out of Lagos and then you get somewhere, then everywhere is just quiet. It's like,
Where's everybody?
What's going on here?
Lagos is a city that never sleeps. It can be like Las Vegas.
24 hours, bro. 24 hours. Something's happening.
And you still get a place of Amala somewhere in Lagos.
There are 24 hours places now.
something is happening in Lagos. But you see, the thing is this. Lagos is a victim of the lack of development of the other parts of Nigeria.
That's right.
Yes.
And we must say it, that
Of course.
if all the other states
Do their bit.
doing what they should
Yes.
do, they are developing at the pace they should develop, then the migration into Lagos will at least be lower than what it is. And then Lagos, the resources of Lagos can actually be managed properly. Lagos is bursting at the seams.
It is.
And it's because the infrastructure is stretched because of the large,
Yeah.
population. So this is speaking out to all the governors out there. Ogun State, or your state,
Enugu, Anambra,
My state, because
Okay.
December used to be the time we all
of
rush
you.
for the
All of them,
carnival. I've
yes.
not been
All
for
of
a
you.
while.
Whatever happens to that
To the
carnival?
like the governor is trying to revive it. You know, there was sort of like a lull, and then we had the one with the bombastic, what's the budget? Olympic budget person there. So things were not as they used to be. Where Donald, set
Donald was
it
a
in
legend,
motion.
though.
You
Donald was a
know,
legend.
but the current government is trying, and December used to be that place you rush to Calabar from
Lagos
Germany and everywhere.
emptied for
Lagos
Calabar
empty.
Carnival.
But now we
Yeah.
are back.
Yeah.
I'll go home.
Now we're getting December.
I'll go to my parents' home. I'm in Lagosian.
Thank you, everyone. We speak to enlighten, but also to lend our voices to the change that we need. Right, Zuma?
Certainly, Funke, silence in the face of injustice could almost be said to be criminal. Did you know that every 11 minutes a woman is killed? Did you know that 6 out of 10 women killed intentionally lose their lives to intimate partners or family members? Did you know that in Nigeria, an average of 10 women are killed monthly? In honor of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, I remember 16 Nigerian women whose lives were cruelly stolen. I remember 11-year-old Favor Okechukwu raped to death by 4 men while running errands for her mother. I remember 14-year-old Obiamaka Orakwe, who was raped and killed by intruders in her home. I remember 17-year-old Habiba Akinsanya, who was kidnapped, raped, macheted to death, and left on her father's farm. I remember 17-year-old Falmata Abubakar, murdered by her uncle in her home for speaking up. I remember 18-year-old Barakat Bello, who was gang raped and macheted to death in her home. I remember 20-year-old Rabi Hawalu, who was killed by her ex-boyfriend over a failed relationship. I remember 20-year-old Justina Inkang, killed by her boyfriend, dismembered, put in a plastic bag, and loaded in a wheelbarrow. I remember 21-year-old Augusta Osadia, killed, mutilated, and her corpse locked in the house by her boyfriend. I remember 22-year-old Uwaila Vera, who was raped and killed in church. I remember 22-year-old Glory Adekulore, who was raped, killed, and left in front of her mother's house. I remember 22-year-old Bamishe Anyowole, who was raped and killed in a BRT and thrown out of a moving bus. I remember 25-year-old Olamide Ali, who was tortured and starved to death by her baby daddy. I remember 26-year-old Inyobong Humoran, who was raped and murdered under the guise of a job interview. I remember 34-year-old Amdalat Afiz, who her boyfriend killed because she refused to loan him 2 million naira. I remember 41-year-old Taiwo Abodunde, whose husband defied a restraining order and beat her to death with their son's skateboard in her home. I remember 42-year-old Hosinachi Inwachuku, who was beaten to death by her husband. Women are not safe at home, on the road, in church, from their friends, with their partners or family members. As we move towards Beijing Plus 30, let us unite to end violence against women and girls.
Well done, well done, well done. That was such a journey. I mean, I could remember almost all of those, stories and examples that you gave. I remember Barakats. I remember all of them because they made national headlines each time they happened. But what struck me most about your advocacy is where you talked about intentionally losing their lives to intimate partners, because it is so true. Women see that this is dangerous for me, this is going to, be tragic at the end of it, but we stay there, mostly because we don't want to leave these intimate partners. We don't want to be seen as the one who is single without a husband. And most times, when it happens to intimate partners, they're, the significant other just like Osinachi, she knew what she was into, but she kept it to herself until she lost her life. Whether they're teenagers, young adults, or women in their 40s, women need to think survival first. They need to think, to begin to see that it is no longer the ultimate to be married. I am not sorry to say it, but you don't have to be married to be somebody. You can be somebody and you can be happy, because happiness is the ultimate for every human. You can be happy without being married, and you can be happy without being in a relationship. If this one doesn't work, another will come. The universe is such a giver that if this one leaves, the universe will gift you. We're talking about gifting today. The universe will gift you somebody better. It's thinking in absolute terms. When you think, if I left this man, then that will be the end of my life. Nobody else is coming. It's a fallacy. So please, women and girls watching, you can do better. Save your lives. We need you. The reason why you're here is because you can better the life of somebody. Don't waste away in that toxic relationship. Domestic violence is not normal. Whoever is telling you that, oh, that's how my husband too used to beat me, it's not true. It's not good. We can all do better. Stay alive.
Thank you.
You have addressed the women. I'm going to address the women from another angle. There are young people in here in the list.
11 years old.
Yeah, so what are the women doing to protect them? Because I know of situations where women know their husband is doing this thing and they protect them. You take the word of your husband over your child, your own child that you give birth to. So we're talking about sexual violence against babies. Minors. Who's going to protect them? They don't even have the cognitive features or whatever to make decisions. They're afraid. And when they go and tell you, tell them, shut up. You tell them, don't say, oh, what will people think? You know, so I'm directly speaking to the women who can come out and say, this is wrong, and stand against even their men who are perpetrating this evil acts. And yes, it is the silence that perpetuates the violence. Yeah. It is justice that is slow, that makes it hard for these survivors to stand the test of time and hold on and wait for justice. It is the legal system that takes them. I mean, proving rape and sexual abuse is so hard. There's a lot of forensics, so I want to give it up to Mirabel Center, Chacha Yara, War If, that's Women at Risk Foundation, Project Alert, 25 years they're celebrating. They've been on this path for so long. We also have Rapper in the north. We have FIDA, who also take on these cases. All of these NGOs doing their bit to make sure that it is zero tolerance for any sort of sexual violence, gender-based violence, especially for children, those who cannot speak for themselves. We need to protect our children, our young girls, and let them know that it is okay to speak out against any sort of sexual harassment, violence, or abuse.
All right, so you've spoken to the women. I want to speak directly to the men. There's nothing about abusing a woman, a girl, that makes you manly.
That makes you manly.
Of course, there's nothing about
It's cowardice.
You're weak.
It's weakness.
Weak.
If you want to show your power or your manliness, go meet another man and square it out. By the time you try to load it over a woman, it's because you're weak. It's because you know that you cannot in any way compete against anybody else. And that basically is saying that you have a right over that person as a human being, and that person cannot exist without you saying so. And that's completely nonsense. So as a man, you must understand that, one, you came out of a woman. You could never have existed if you were not born by a woman. And when I talk to men generally, I said, look, men understand this, all right? You have a mother. You probably have a sister. You probably have a daughter. So a lot of these things you understand. So sometimes you ask, if you ask a guy and you say that, okay, if it's your daughter or if it's your mother that was abused, how would you react? You see them, you say, no, it's not. But if it's somebody else, they have a different reaction. So men, we have to talk to ourselves. The statistics is not good. Now, we can look at it and say, no, it's not, women also
they provoke us.
all this, whatever. No. But if you look at the data in terms of the sexual and gender-based violence, really, whether it's domestic or whether it's sexual in context, the overwhelming data is saying that men are the major perpetrators. So we have to talk to ourselves and say, it is not acceptable, all right, that we are these people. So you must have fundamental understanding that a woman is equal. It's as simple as that. And then number two is that you have no right over her that she has not, given to you for whatever.
No is no.
So we need to represent our gender better, and we need to be able to be the one at the forefront of the fight. Because if we are not at the forefront of this fight, the level of progress will be slow.
Whenever topics like this comes up, I'm literally like folding my arms. I'm just
cringing,
crazy. I don't understand why that's a trigger. Trying to really understand it. I think I need to go and talk to some strength to make me understand. But first of all, damn, 11 minutes? Every 11 minutes?
Yes.
That is
even as we are here in this studio.
It's an epidemic.
That is crazy. I think last week we're just having a conversation last week, and then, was it last week? And then you said 1 out of every 4 women is sexually abused.
Yeah.
And then
Three.
And right on the table we had three women. And then 2 out of the 3. And I was like, are you kidding me?
No, it's the truth.
Right? So a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to one of my female friend, about because this thing I do once a month during the full moon. I go to Lashare, I get a tent close to the water, and I stay there till in the morning. And she's like, "Are you not afraid?" I'm not afraid of what's going to happen. But
a woman can't do that.
That's not a privilege.
She's like, I can't do that.
No, she can't.
She can't.
And I'm like, why? Like, do you understand what is going on? And so just the ignorance, and I feel that's where it starts. Because once there's awareness, once we as men educate ourselves on what is going on when it comes to the women around us, once we really, really, because this is something that we need to pay very close attention. For me to be like, oh, really? You can't do that? Because I've never understood or imagined that a man like me would want to, instead of protect a woman, abuse a woman.
Yep.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. So in my head, I'm like, oh, it's normal. But it's not, because there's a lot of psychopaths around the world. Crazy people who I don't understand the content that makes their mentality. I feel like the first step, like you said, is for us to take responsibility as men. First of all, educate ourselves, have conversations, do research like this. Like, this data is busting my head, right? People need to know more. And then when you find a situation where you know or you hear, like maybe your neighbor and there's something is happening, go in and protect. I don't care if it's your wife or your daughter. At this point in time, she's a woman and I'm here to protect her. I don't care about your relationship. Like, we need to stand up more for women.
Thank you, Brian.
And I think the last thing is institutions. What are the institutions in place to protect our women? Apart from giving them rights and wrapper, what else are our governments doing?
They were talking about repealing the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act.
We need to make this intentional.
Right, let me come in briefly there. This is why we think you men should organize better. Women have been shouting sexual violence until you people buy into it and begin to organize.
Because we have a lot more men in the lawmakers than we have women.
Yeah, I think it begins with us really educating ourselves and understanding, because a lot of us just feel like we can't do that.
Else it will be your daughter, your sister, or your niece.
You know?
We keep account to ensure that these precious lives are not forgotten, because they matter.
Thank you so much, Zuma. As promised, I am chronicling those Nigerian youths who have been outstanding against the odds in 2024. Today, we celebrate excellence, the kind that redefines boundaries and inspire a nation. Allow me to introduce the Bright 10 of 2024. A group Let's go. A group of young Nigerians whose remarkable achievements this year deserve recognition. First, Kingsley Obioko, as you can see, I'm wearing the shirt, an advocate for justice and community empowerment. Through his foundation, he provides free education in the East and foster unity with initiatives like Unity Cup and Marathon. Damitwitch, a creative force in African music visuals, brought our stories to the world with award-winning visuals that redefine storytelling and amplify the African voices globally. Nola Adetola transformed Nigeria's real estate landscape with Veritasi Homes. His commitment to mentorship and expansion across Africa set a benchmark for entrepreneurial excellence. Aisha Shuaibu championed inclusion and empowerment through business, sport, and advocacy. Her work proves that when women rise, we all rise. Sean Okeke elevated Afrobeat globally, managing stars like Rema while redefining what it means to build legacy behind the scenes. Abdukwi brought governance and infrastructure to life in Kwara State, showing that young leaders can deliver impactful change. Onyeka Michael redefined beauty with Hello Perfect, empowering women and setting new standards in the skincare industry. Chimdi, an extraordinary lawyer and advocate, fostering collaboration in governance while mentoring future leaders and advancing public service excellence. Beauty Tukura inspires resilience and purpose, using her platform to empower young women and redefine beauty through advocacy and storytelling. And finally, Abubakar Suleiman. Yes, he stands apart on this list. Through his vision, he has ensured that Sterling Bank actively uplifts young entrepreneurs, social enterprises, and community builders who lack the resources to get started. He has shown that business and nation building can and should go hand in hand. Among this incredible group, he stands out as a leader whose influence has empowered countless young people to rise and build, myself included. These incredible individuals embody passion, purpose, and progress. As 2024 closes, let their achievement remind us of the heights we can reach when we strive for excellence. Here is to the bright 10, lighting the way for a brighter tomorrow.
Very well done.
Okay, you want to make the bright 10 list.
So,
You gotta make the bright 10 list.
right. What do I have to do to make the bright 10
You have
list?
to be young.
I have to be young. Oh, wow.
What do you
Why are you
mean?
shading me?
You know.
I'm young.
Man,
I know I am younger than Abubakar. I know.
Yeah,
I'm younger than Abubakar.
Abubakar is on the list because of what he does for young
How old is
people.
he?
He's
Because of
certainly
what
not
he
young.
does
It's definitely
for
not
young
young.
people. That's why I said he stands out because of what he does for young people. Yeah, that's why he's on the
Ika,
list.
I'm going to take that personal, but
Don't be angry. We'll give you amper.
okay, I like the fact that you highlighted Abubakar and his contribution towards the ecosystem. And this is not just specific to the creative industry, even to the regular entrepreneurs, even to the people in finance, people in the technology industry. Abubakar Suleiman is the star when it comes to supporting the general entrepreneurial ecosystem in Nigeria. Secondly, I would like to point on Kawir. I'm probably biased, but Kawir is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And beyond that, he's a visionary person. Is someone that is like a dog with a bone. Just give him a vision to run with, and then he's just going to go high and low
Who is that?
to ensure to ensure that he gets it done. And then also Onyeka Hello Perfect. Oh my God. I love it. They're really doing good work, taking care of the woman. You know, in a non-invasive way.
Yeah, it's so good that you know some people on this list. You see, my list ain't bad.
Well,
right?
maybe because I'm not young. I don't know anybody on
The
the
only
list.
person I know about
I don't know anybody. But I want to say kudos to all of them for making Bright 10 and for doing exceptional work. All I want is for more critical mass of these kinds of people, replication of them, so that, you know, we have a lot more of this good cheer and changing of our mindset, the environment, the solutions they bring to our space and all of that. Kudos. I believe in celebrating people. I believe it so much because I know it will definitely spur them to do more, and it will encourage and inspire others that they too can contribute positively to their community.
You know what I love most about your Brighton?
Yeah.
The pan-Nigerianness of it. The fact that you look at it, you look at the list and you see somebody from the southwest, southeast, north,
I wasn't even intentional.
and all that.
I wasn't even looking at all of that.
And
you know,
it just tells a story that there's a lot about us in terms of our diversity that represents our strength.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and we should not be looking at what divides us, but look at what brings us together. Kingsley, you know, people must realize that whatever it's doing it at great risk.
A lot, yeah.
Because it could be targeted or isolated as somebody who is trying to change whatever, but it's looking at it from the bigger picture. And you know, people like him needs to be celebrated.
Yes.
He needs to be supported. He also needs to be protected.
Yes, I was just going to say protected.
You know, as much as possible, because we're just okay. You know, he's just doing whatever he's doing, but what he's doing is really bringing hope to young people to say, look, there's a lot that we can do, and we can do better. So I celebrate all these people to have made the Bright 10.
Bright 10, baby.
You know, you have accomplished a lot of things. And the last thing I would say is about Abubakar. You know, he's in my industry, so I kind of know him. Yes, kudos to him. He's done fantastically well, and he's been able to bridge the gap between those who look at corporate entities like they're just from another planet. It's brought it home and it's made it look like, it's I mean, we're normal, we're like you and I, you know, like Kate now, you know, she's a celebrity, me, I'm just ordinary Nigerian.
I attended the pageant Miss Tourism at Independence earlier this year, and it was an assemblage of young people in Nigeria. We didn't leave that place until about 1. They all sat and supported the founder of that pageant. And I saw the cohesion amongst them. It was, you see only young people on the stage, young people being called to come and handle this task and the other. And they made an impression on me that day. They are a group of people. They're a different Nigeria evolving. Where we don't know what's coming next because these people know where they're going. And you know, each one of them, please welcome CEO of this and this and this and this. Check out the names of their companies. You know, beautiful. Check out the way they comport, the way they carry themselves. Yeah, we talk about Gen Zs that, this Gen Z. There is a group of Gen Zs that are really focused, full of vision, and coming at Nigeria in a steady, you know, intentional way. And I'm so proud of your list, the Bright 10. I wish you would do this every year.
I think you should do it.
And we can support to make it really grand. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's how things evolve. That's how an idea is started. And before you know it, it will coalesce into something really huge. And it's for a good cause.
Anyways.
We can do where you went, please. Okay. Let us have good tidings. I think you can round your
Lazy youths, entitled youths, it is clear that some are dancing to an entirely different tune.
Period.
Yes.
Inspiring indeed. Consistency and not giving up is what sets them apart. Let's follow in their footsteps, shall we?
Yes.
The National Assembly. Whatever happened to e-voting? On the 30th of May 2016, the Speaker of the House of Reps, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, announced that the House will be adopting the e-voting system in its operations. 8 years later, and over 500 bills passed, record shows that the National Assembly has only used this e-voting maybe about twice. The default method of voting has always been the voice vote, where the presiding officer decides which of the A's or the nays sounds the loudest. Well, such a primitive system of voting is subject to abuse, like that of the confirmation of the National Commissioner, Professor Sani Adam, put to the consternation of many watching on TV, Senate President announced that the A's had it when everyone with a functioning ear could hear a resounding nay. Why is the e-voting system important? Because it allows constituents and the public to know the voting records of each member of the National Assembly. Permit me to ask, what's the voting record for Senator Ahmad Lawan, who has been at the National Assembly since 1999? Or Senator Ali Udume, who is serving in his 5th term in the National Assembly since 2003. How do you classify their voting pattern? Do they vote strictly along party lines or ideology? Is their vote issue-based as per their views on foreign policy, neoclassical economic theory, or pan-Nigerianism? Do their votes even align with their campaign promise? Are they even in the chambers when the votes are tallied? Voting records provide a clear picture of a legislator's stance on key issues, enabling voters to assess whether their actions align with their promises and the needs of their constituents. By understanding a representative's past votes, voters can make informed choices during the elections and advocate for policies that reflect their values or seek other candidates that will deliver them. Go to the congress.gov website and you can access the voting records of every member of the US Congress. What is stopping us from doing the same? The only way to achieve this is by making e-voting mandatory for legislators. It is either this or the faceless hays and nays will keep having it.
Yinka, you have brought me down in my spirit. Funke started with Lagos, nice, bustling. Then Zuma brought us down with the domestic 16 days. Bright 10 came up. You have now brought these dishonorable members inside this matter. You know, it is clear that they are not interested in transparency or anything that will benefit a clear and open voting process. Someone say nay. You stand and say hi. Is it that the other? Why are you laughing? I said, what did I said dishonorable member. I've already called them that. It's clear they don't want that. It's clear that when you come for their neck, for their food, they are going to try and fight. This is a retirement home for all of them. Someone 1999, they will die inside that place. Because where are they going to after that place? What are they going to do with themselves? You have no use to your constituents, except when you say you are doing constituency project, which is wheelbarrow and the rest, Okada and maybe the fake laptops they were giving and then they now collected it back. You know, it's crazy that these are the people who are supposed to be looking out for you are a representative of your constituency. True. But we don't see any representation. They are just there sending prayers to themselves or email and all sorts of things. It is just so sad and it's a dampener. E-voting, you wait, maybe 20 years. I'll be bright. Maybe. That's all I have to say. I have nothing positive to say about those people.
So I think it was 2019. I was invited to the floor of the Michigan State House of Representatives. The People's House, they call it. And I literally, they were doing the whole thing, the whole procedures, and I was there. And then when they said, okay, the voting time came, there are buttons on the table. Yes. Because my friend's also a House of Representatives, I was sitting next to him. And the button, and there's a screen.
Yeah, you can see.
And then, literally, if you vote yes, your name pops up and then that's there. But then you can see the transparency, right? That, okay, this is what this person is for, and this is what this person is against. And it gives the voters a clear understanding of who they should vote for next year. We have people who have been, like you said, since 1999. Bruh, it's not adding up in my head. But anyways.
The math is not math.
That's not why we are here.
That's why we're here. Let's leave it.
Okay.
For me,
Funke is batting her eyelids like
transparency of the legislature. Kate said it all. You said it, Yinka. Voting records of our legislators. How can you have been there since 1999? We can't really tell what your value is there by having access to your voting pattern. You know what Nigerians love to do? We love to copy from abroad and bring it. and then choose the one we want to do and the one we will not
You're going to
do.
live
So
well.
we went to the US and copied the presidential system. We forgot to copy the voting pattern. I don't understand.
As the selection process.
Selective selections.
I don't understand.
No, we localized it. You know, the system we now decided to,
We decided to
localize it to the environment.
decided to do two local
What is
content.
NBS? What is NBS? National
Bureau of
Bureau of
Statistics.
Thank you.
Statistics, I got it.
Yeah.
This is to you. Help us. Help us to know, because this is part of governance and this is part of accountability. The NBS should help, National Bureau of Statistics should help us fill in the gaps. What is the voting records of our legislators? Give us particular, season, years. Let us see what they're doing, because we don't have it. And clearly they don't have the screens at the legislative chambers.
They have buttons, yeah.
So when you are hearing
They have
name,
it.
They have buttons,
do
Abi.
They have it.
the A's have it. I don't
They actually
understand.
have it. So it's not like they don't have it. They have it. They
So
can use
then
it.
let us have
They
the voting
deliberately
records.
refuse to use it.
Okay.
That's it.
But why? Is there a reason why?
Zuma will clear us on that. I think she
okay.
has information on that.
Okay, so please.
Our legislators, they love the survival of the loudest system they currently use. Survival of the loudest. As far as you can be, hey, yes.
But they're saying nays and the
it does
guy is
not matter.
saying
It
yes.
does
That's
not
your
matter.
ear.
That is
You
your
need
own
to
ear.
visit ear.
You know, the e-voting, lack of e-voting adoption at NAS is not a glitch. It's by design. Of
course.
Because our political leaders, they don't want accountability.
Yes. Come on.
And they don't understand how having this transparency and accountability even furthers their own agenda. As much as you can say hey or nay, but if you have an ideology you stand for and you're vocal about it, it is something you can take back home and say, okay, we were the ones that said we must provide women with a safe space to live at home. And that way you can rally up your woman base, and have them vote for you. But when there is a lot of opacity in that space, it becomes difficult for people to know why they are voting for you, or why they should even vote for you, or why they should believe in you. Because when you say something, we don't even know if you're doing it beyond the physical project you're doing. And the core of National Assembly is on infrastructural development. It is lawmaking. So if you can't see what you stand for on the different laws we are working on, you have defeated the purpose of your engagement.
Amidst the dysfunctionality, there's always something we can do to make a difference. Let's keep pushing for the change we seek.
Yeah, so Yinka, if 2024 has taught me anything, it is that we can live to fight another day. That's 2025. It is that time of the year again where the air is filled with expectations of celebrations from all over the country. Young children eagerly awaiting new outfits. I hope they get it. Presents, and the aged who look forward to receiving their family home, who will spend quality time with them and pamper them with love and gifts. It's been a year of mixed feelings for me in Nigeria. Nevertheless, my spirit refuses to be downcast. Life must indeed go on. The year draws to a close with a lot of uncertainty as to what and if a promising future holds for all Nigerians. A lot of people may find it hard to afford staple food, hampers, and all the trappings for a Christmas Day celebration. Nevertheless, even as we speak, different shows are being organized to fuel the Yuletide cheer. And for some moments, just for a little time, all will be forgotten and geared towards loads of merriment and felicitations. For those who have lost their loved ones to the cold hands of death this year, Christmas only reinforces their absence. This advocacy is dedicated to those who will not feel like celebrating despite air in the atmosphere. I want to encourage them. The time will slowly but surely heal their wounds and soothe the deep pain. This is what I told a young lady whom I met the other day at a beauty salon. She had recently lost her mom this year and had not been able to comprehend or deal with the deep loss. As she spoke to me, her tears glistened in her eyes. I encouraged her that as long as there is life, there is hope, and that she should make the most of her time here on earth. I bring good tidings to all Nigerians this Christmas season. Spare a thought for those who are finding it hard to make ends meet. This is the time of giving, but not only of gifts, but to ourselves. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Every heart, prepare him room, for it is when we open up our hearts that is filled with good tidings. Merry Christmas to everyone from me and all of us here at the table.
Merry Christmas.
So, the way your
We can end there.
No, we can't. I need you to just go home. Yinka.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
By the way, I love your hair care.
Oh.
It's very nice.
Is that all you love?
A voice.
Brighten.
Right. Okay.
Same.
Behave. Okay, so I love the advocacy, and I think I like the part where you said, we should take time to think about those who don't feel like celebrating. Because this is a time when everybody is celebrating, families are meeting, coming together, and things like that. And then there'll be that few, who feel like what's there to celebrate. And I like the way you put it when you said that as long as there is life, there's hope. And as long as life is there, there's something for you to say, okay, I want to live for, I want to go back there and I want to push. And I think that's what we must do, to be able to be there for those ones that they don't feel like celebrating. And it requires us to be intentional. It's very easy in this season
to be self-absorbed.
To just be self-absorbed and forget. But it requires us to be intentional to think about those who might not feel like celebrating, who are suffering loss. And loss might not even be maybe they lost somebody. It might actually be a loss of job.
Yes.
It might be a loss of reputation. I'm not talking about the ones that are suing for criminal and criminal defamation. Sorry, I just have to put that in somewhere there. But there are those who suffer loss one way or the other, and we need to be intentional. So, if you could give a call, to somebody to say, hey, hi, I'm just checking up on you. How are you doing? Right. It goes a long way. Yeah, if you could send a bag of rice, if you could send something, but just be intentional. I think it goes a long way.
Zuma.
Thank you for this advocacy, Kate, and Merry Christmas. This is kind of personal because I had so many losses this year.
Oh, dear.
I lost friends, I lost business partners, and I lost a sibling. And grief is a cruel education, as Chimamanda said. Only you know how you feel, because different people feel different things at different times over different situations. But there is a societal expectation on how you should act, and that could also possibly put more pressure on the person grieving. So I think for me, it's a Yuletide. You should let people grieve, however it is they choose to grieve. Don't put pressure on them to celebrate, or if they want to isolate, just let them be. Yeah. If they want to party, let them party. There is no template. Whatever makes you feel better in this moment, embrace it. But most importantly, look forward. The future is always brighter. They are not always. They are never going to be there anymore. But that does not mean you cannot honor their memory, or you should stop living.
Well, first of all, thank you for this exciting one, inspiring. A lot of sprinkles of positivity all over it. This is a year that started as themed by Nigerians on Twitter as not grief for anybody. And if you look at the year, you see that it's been a push until something happens kind of year for us all. It's been a year that all of us moved resilience, tenacity, hope, survival. We just wanted to survive. Every
Get
time
through the
there's
day.
something, it was just, let me just survive today. And then tomorrow will sort itself. Then tomorrow comes that I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to agree for today to make I just survive till tomorrow. So I just want to salute Nigerians. It's been a very difficult year.
Shout out.
And we not agree, make the year bury us.
No good.
That's all.
We not agree. So it's okay to not want to celebrate. It's okay, just as Zuma said, to want to isolate. It's okay to want, I mean, how much is a bag of rice? How many people can even afford that? And how much is a bottle of soda? A bottle of soda, it's even so expensive now. And how many people can buy? If you notice that pure water is now smaller, it's still the same price, it's smaller. So, I mean, we've survived the year, and that is something to celebrate anyway. So take a trip around Lagos roads and enjoy the lights, and take photos, post. You're celebrating already. Let's celebrate the survival of us all.
You know, when we were coming earlier, I was telling Kate and Bright that the only thing I'm saving this year is
It's your life. She said so.
The only thing I'm saving this year is my life. I'm alive. Yes, we are celebrating.
And that's more than enough.
I think failure happens, or the feeling of failure happens when you feel like it's just happening to you. Right? Like when COVID happened, everybody's like, oh, everybody's inside the house, so we're all good, right? But it was just one set of people. It's like, oh my God. I need everybody to understand that this year was hard for everybody.
It was hard.
Yeah, it was.
So it's like COVID, it's like a pandemic all over again. It was hard.
What about National Assembly members?
Not everybody.
I'm sorry.
All the people who've been there since 1999.
But it was qualified that everybody.
Please qualify the everybody.
It was hard for a lot of people. Let me just say that word. It was hard for a lot of people. Yeah. And so don't ever feel like it was happening to just you. Because sometimes people come on social media and they don't communicate how they feel. Right? They come and they take good pictures and then they post it, and then I've seen somebody literally like post a picture and they put a whole thing and then the next thing she's crying. And I'm like, I'm looking at the picture that she posted, I'm looking at her, I'm like, brother. Like, why would you, and it's okay, because at the end of the day, you don't want people to think that something is wrong.
But vulnerability will help others.
Exactly. It actually does help a lot of people.
So for me, I disagree with vulnerability in public space. Because people are cruel. A lot of people are unkind. It's not even about shame. They will be outrightly cruel to you because they don't have adequate context about your life. So you can be vulnerable in your safe space and all of that.
Not in public.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
So it's okay to not be okay, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it didn't happen to everybody, right?
It's okay.
And so if you can, and what I've done, and trust me, there's no morning that I wake up excited this year. There's no morning that I wake up excited.
Was it that bad for me?
No, for me, I don't think there's any morning. Like, I literally have to psych myself, go out, take a 2 hours walk. They don't say I try to lose weight. I just need to get my
No, but that's what walking does.
I just need to get my head straight. I get into the day. Every single day, there's no day. Like, I walk out every day, not because I want to lose weight, just because I have to get my head straight, right? So,
which is a good thing to do. I do that too.
So I can understand, right? But at the same time, one thing that I do for myself to help myself is I look at everything and I look at the things that I actually work in. I am here.
Yes.
I am able to walk. I'm not sick.
Yes.
I'm not lying down. I'm able to go. Like, there's a lot of things that could have gone wrong. That even if I had $1 billion, one thing happened, that would be nothing, right? So, like, focus on the things that are working this year. Look around and say and list out the things that actually work. That if these things didn't work out, it will be worse for you, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we want that didn't happen, but there's a lot of things that also happened that we didn't want, but it happened to us anyways, and it was good. So just focus on the good things, be grateful, celebrate with your family and friends. Like you said, call people, and just check up on people randomly. I'm sure that some people are afraid to call because, like, when I call you and say how you do, you're not trying to say, but still, just do it,
I mean, I experienced loss too. My mom went this year, March. So every now and then I have those moments where I miss her, but I know she's proud of us, and I know she's looking down and telling God, see, my children are down here. And I'm just blessed to be alive, walking. I can see, I can hear, I can eat.
That's right.
I'm just grateful for the things that I have. And I believe that's the mindset. But also, it's okay not to be okay. So nobody is putting anybody under pressure to be a certain way. However you feel, I want you to know that you will be okay. Here at the table, we share your frustrations, but we also give voice to your hopes. Many voices form a chorus. And so we look forward to you joining us again same time next week as we take on fresh topical issues. Till then, it's goodbye from all of us and a very Merry Christmas in advance.
We made it, Mama. We made it.
Yeah, look at us.
Look at us. We made it.